Okay, let's go through a couple of example of limits at a point. Before we do that, let's have a look some properties of limits as shown in this table. For example, what is the limit of a constant? Okay, so the limit of a constant k as x approaching value of a is the constant itself, k itself. And how about the constant times a function? So the limit of a constant time a function is then equals to k times the limit of that function as x approaches a, which is therefore equals to k times whatever the value of the limits, k times a in this case, for example. And then for a sum of a function, simply we just take the limit of that function, add the limit of the other function. So for example, limit of f of x as x approaches a plus the limit of g of x as x approaches a. So it's equals to the value of a for f of x and equals to the value of b for g of x. Similarly, for the difference of a function, we just take the limit, the difference between the limit value of that functions f and g, and therefore a minus g. For products of a function, we simply take the multiplication of that limits for f of x multiply by the limit of g of x. So limit f of x times limit of g of x, or a times b. A and b here representing the value of the limits for f and g respectively. For quotients of functions, in other words division, so the limit of function f divided by function g equals to the limit of that function f divided by the limit of the other function g in this case. So a divided by b, with as long as b is not equals to 0. How about the function raised to an exponent? So limit of a function raised to an exponent is equals to the limit of that function raised to the power of that n. So in this case, whatever the value of the limit, a for example, raised to the power of n, where n is a positive integer. For the nth root of a function, where n is a positive integer, shown here, limit of the nth root of a function f of x equals to the nth roots of the limit of that function, so n of a. Polynomial function, limit of a polynomial function equals to whatever the polynomial of that value of that function as x approaches a constant value a. Let's do a couple of example. Evaluate the limit of a function algebraically. Limit of 2x plus 5 as x approaches 3 is simply by substitution. 3 equals to x equals to 3, so limit of 2x plus the limit of 5, substitution. 2 times 3 equals to 6 plus 5 of a constant. 6 plus 5 equals to 11. So this is a constant multiplied by function, constant times a function property. So constant comes out in front of the limits, so just have to take the limit of that function as x approaches value of 3 by substitution. 5 times 3 to the power 2 equals to 9 times 5 equals to 45. Limit of polynomial, for example 2x cubed minus 3x plus 1, value of the limits of that function as x approaches 5 simply by substitution according to the basic properties of the limit equals to the limit of 2x cubed minus the limit of 3x plus the limit of 1. So limit of x cubed is 5 by substitution, 5 to the power of 3 minus 3 as a constant can come out, limit of an x approaches 5, so multiply substitution 3 times 5 plus limit of 1, a constant, as x equals to approaching 5 so equals to 1. So the total equals to 236. Limit of a power, for example 3x plus 1 raised to the power of 5, again based on the properties of the limit, equals to the limit 3x plus 1 raised to the power of 5 outside. So limit by substitution 3x, 3 times 2 6 plus 1 7, 7 raised to the power of 5. Limit of a quotient can be done by factoring. So we have limit of a quotient of x squared minus 6x plus 8 over x minus 2. By simplification, by factorization, if you like, x squared minus 6x plus 8 can be factorized into x minus 2 times x minus 4. So x minus 2 can be cancelled out. Therefore, we only end up with the limit of x minus 4. As x approaching 2, then the value of the limit is approaching negative 2. How about limit of a quotient? You can do that by finding the LCD, or the lowest common denominator. For example, here we have limit of 1 over x minus 1 over 5 over x minus 5, as the limit of x approaches, the value of x approaches 5. So we can solve this problem by using lowest common denominator. So in this case, for the numerator we have x and 5, so 5x will be the common denominator, so we can multiply by 5x for both the numerator and denominator. As you can see here, 5x on the top and 5x on the bottom. So 5x for 1 times x minus 5x times 1 over 5, we get 5 minus x. Yeah, the x value get cancelled here, and then this is minus x because the 5 get cancelled. And the denominator, you have 5x times x minus 5. So as you can see here, you can directly do direct substitution with the value of x equals to 5. You get negative 1 over 25 by simply multiply with the common denominator. Evaluate the limit containing a root using conjugate. Evaluate the limit of square root of 25 minus x minus 5 over x as x approaches 0. As you can see, this problem can be solved by multiply the numerator with the conjugate, which is square root of 25 minus x plus 5 in this time. So multiply both numerator and the denominator with square root of 25 minus x plus 5. We cancel out the square roots, so you only have with 25 minus x minus 25 this time. On the other hand, in the bottom part you have x multiplied by 25 minus x plus 5. Maintain that. On the numerator we have minus x on the top and then x in the bottom and the denominator, so we can cancel these two x, become 1 negative 1 over 25 minus x plus 5. So we can substitute directly the value of x to 0, so we get negative 1 over 25 minus 0 plus 5, negative 1 over 5 plus 5, or negative 1 over 10 as the value of the limit. We can also evaluate the limit of a quotient of a function by factorization. For example, finding the limit of 4 minus x over square root of x minus 2 by factoring the numerator 4 minus x to become 2 plus square root of x and multiply by 2 minus, this time this is plus and minus, minus square root of x. So those are the two factors for 4 minus x. So as you can see, if you check, double check, if going backwards, we have 2 times 2 equals to 4, and then 2 square root of x times negative 2 times square root of x get cancelled, and square root of x times square root of x equals to x. So they both become the same, still maintain equivalence. And we have square root of x, negative 2 can be rearranged to become negative 2 minus square root of x, and therefore can get cancelled with this numerator on the top. Okay, we can do that because of the similarity. This is 2 minus square root of x, and then this is square root of x minus 2, so we can take the minus sign out, so the whole thing become same like this. So get cancelled both on the numerator and denominator. We have negative 2 plus square root of x, and by direct substitution of x equals to 4, you get minus 2 plus square root of 2 square root of 4 become 2, so we got negative 4 in total.